Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna Chancellor 414 AW. We have a 72 nautical mile flight from Martha's Vineyard, Mike Victor Yankee, to Boston Logan International, Bravo Oscar Sierra. We'll be flying IFR, and we'll be flying a real-life route that Cape Air flies routinely between Martha's Vineyard and Boston Logan. Should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. Martha's Vineyard is a payware airport by Burning Blue Design. We ended up there at the conclusion of our Cape Odyssey series, so be sure to check that out. We'll be heading north to Boston Logan, which is also a payware airport by FlyTampa, and we'll be taxiing to Signature when we arrive. Alright, we've completed our pre-flight. Let's get everything started up. So we will check that the circuit breakers are all in on both panels. We'll get our fuel selectors both in the green to the left and the right main tank. We'll flip up the bar, turn on our battery and left and right alternator. Now we'll turn our selector switch to battery and verify that we have enough charge to start the engines. That looks good. Then we'll turn on the nav lights. Head over here and test the annunciator panel. Everything illuminates. We'll check our fuel tank left and right quantities. That looks good. We've got the cowl flaps closed, so we'll push those in to get them open. They're the two white levers here on the bottom. Next, we'll bring the mixture to full rich, left and right engine. Bring both of our props to forward, and we'll crack the throttle. Open up the window, clear prop, flip up the bar over the magnetos. We'll get all four of our magnetos on. Next, we'll prime the left engine. We'll press the left engine starter button. Let's watch the RPMs and manifold pressure. Okay, looks like a good start. Once RPMs get above 1,000, then we'll turn on the left fuel pump switch to low. Now we'll repeat the process for the right engine, so we will prime the right engine. Press the right engine starter button. Watch the RPM and the manifold pressure. I love the sounds of the engine as it starts up and comes up to speed. And once again, once that gets above 1,000 RPM, then we'll turn on the right fuel pump to low. Okay, we've got a good start on both of the engines, so we will close up the window because the engine noise is loud. We'll head down to our panel, and let's switch our selector to alternator, left and right, and we'll verify that both the left and the right alternators are generating power. They are. So go back to battery, and everything's stable, so we can turn on the avionics bus. This is the GTN 750 plugin by PMS 520. Highly recommend it. This is the freeware version. So on the right-hand side, we've got our flight plan, which is very straightforward. We'll go over to the frequencies page on the left-hand side for Martha's Vineyard. We'll enter the ATIS, get the weather, then we'll contact clearance delivery for our IFR clearance. And while all that's going on, I'll take you through the flight plan. If you go to FlightAware and look at routes between Martha's Vineyard and Boston Logan, you can see Cape Air does indeed have scheduled routes flying Cessna 404s routinely back and forth. Now we're flying a 414, but it's a very similar aircraft. If you pull up one of their actual flight tracks, you'll see it tends to head north and then hook to the left. That's because that's an actual tech route. So you can see that in Foreflight at the bottom there. It's a tech route that uses Fredo as the turning point. So if we enter that into the iPad, you can see that we are going to fly to Fredo, and then we're going to fly the RNAV approach for 33 left. If I zoom back down to Martha's Vineyard, tap on it to find out which runway has the best wind. Scroll down, we can see that it's runway 33 also for Martha's Vineyard. That's the perpendicular runway here. So if we zoom in, it means we're going to hang a right and then a left. At least that'll be our taxi directions to take off on 33 heading north. The tech route flies at 6,000. If I pull up the plate for the RNAV approach, we can see that we need to arrive at Ben at 4,000, so we'll be descending between Fredo and Ben to get to our 4,000 altitude. Martha's Vineyard ground, Chancellor 26632, transient parking west ramp, request taxi with Kilo. Taxi and hold short, runway 33 via Alpha, Chancellor 26632. Alright, while we're taxiing, I'll give you an update on my real-life flight lessons. So I am at the point where I'm doing cross-countries and night flying. Here's a short clip of one of my night cross-countries. And I can say that flying at night is really serene and beautiful. Landing at night, though, is really intense. Here's an audio clip of my first night landing.
It looks like you're just flying into the abyss.
It does, oh my gosh.
You are
This is intense. Okay, I can see it. Little power.
Good. Speed's right at 70. Look down the end of that runway. Good. Start bringing the nose up. Good. Bring it up more. Up more. Up more.
Feels like we're a little high.
You're alright. There you go.
Oh, I guess we weren't.
Nope. It messes with you, doesn't it?
Ah, that's an illusion, man.
It's like flying into a black void that just has a trapezoid of lights that is floating in the void that you're aiming for. It's surreal. Alright, we've completed our run-up and tower has cleared us for takeoff. In the background, you hear liveatc.net streaming Boston approach. Martha's Vineyard unfortunately doesn't have a live ATC stream, but we will be flying to Boston, so that works. And like my recent videos, I'll be using SkyDolly to give you some in-flight cinematics for the takeoff and landing.
7 Mike Whiskey contact, first 126.5. I've also approached 47 Mike Whiskey. 47 Mike Whiskey, go ahead. Yeah, what was the frequency change you gave us? Was it 125.6?
And rotate.
Whiskey, approach on 126.5, 265. 265, okay, 47 Mike Whiskey. American 873, contact Boston Center, 128.75.
Alright, we're on track. Let's sit back and enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. was a fun scenic flight. I love the Cape Air livery for the Chancellor, and it's really cool flying a real-world route. The RNAV approach brought me in too low here for runway 33 left. You could probably see that through the cockpit video, and you could see that the pappies were all red. And definitely I could see that visually as I was flying over the approach lights. I ended up with a flatter landing than I wanted to as a result, but we survived. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. So thanks as always for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.